On today's episode of the Real Recovery Podcast, episode number 85, we revisit one of our most powerful stories, Jonah W's journey of resilience, courage, and transformation. Originally shared in June of 2024, Jonah opened up about the depths of addiction, the pain of isolation, and the miracle of recovery that followed. His story touched hearts across our community, reminding us all of the strength found in surrender and service. As we prepare to check in with Jonah next week to see how far he's come, let's take a moment to reflect on where his journey began. This is RRP episode 85, Jonah Revisited.
Hey, this is Julie with the Real Recovery Podcast.
And this is Peter, and we need your help.
We really sincerely are looking for help. Peter and I have put a lot of time into this podcast. And when I wasn't working and going through a lot, this podcast really just saved me, keeping my mind busy. But producing it, paying for what we've paid for and the time has really, it's cost a lot of money. And in order to keep going for the next year, we will need some donations.
Yeah.
We've survived off how much, Peter?
It was just under $800, and that pretty much bought t-shirts and cards and for promotions.
And bracelets.
And bracelets for promotions. But as far as our time and the services that we use, because it costs to post the podcast and there's software involved, there's a lot of costs.
Well, and we're on so many platforms as well.
Yeah.
We come to you on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all that is a publication cost as well.
Yeah. And so it comes to just over $1,000 per episode of combined time and services. And we do it because we love what we do and we love getting the message out. And we've heard feedback from you all who listen that how much you appreciate and love the show. And so we're just asking if you can make a donation. We have donation links everywhere on our website. You can go to donate.realrecoverypodcast.com. Even just $5, that's a cup of coffee at a Starbucks. In fact, it's cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. And a monthly
$5 a month would be what, $60 a year?
Yeah, it doesn't take much, but it all adds up, and it would really give us a leg up on being able to continue putting out a weekly show for the future.
Yeah, and we have over 10,000 listeners. We're 32nd in Australia. I say that all the time because it overwhelms my brain that we're even international, right? And that anybody can listen to us at any time for free. So if you could donate, we would really appreciate it. Put us on your giving list for Christmas.
Yeah, the holidays are coming, so it's giving season.
Yeah, we really do need that to be able to continue in 2026.
Definitely.
So we hope to hear from you.
Yeah.
Buy us a cup of coffee.
Please. All right, and thanks for listening. And now on to our episode.
Thanks again.
Hello, and welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. I'm Julie, your co-host, on this journey of healing and transformation. Together with my co-host, Peter, we dive into the heart of recovery, sharing stories that resonate with courage and inspiration.
That's right, Julie. Each episode is a new chapter in this vast narrative of recovery, and we're honored to bring them to you. But keep in mind the perspectives you'll hear are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the views of the podcast or our partners.
Indeed, while these conversations can be a powerful part of your recovery toolkit, they are not substitute for professional medical advice. We encourage you to seek guidance from your healthcare provider for any treatment-related decisions.
And if you're facing an immediate crisis, or if you just need to talk to someone who understands, don't hesitate to call the Recovery Crisis Line at 503-223-8569. That number is also on our website. Help is available 24/7.
Now let's begin our episode
of Recovery, Real Recovery.
Content warning. This episode of the Real Recovery Podcast contains discussion of very personal and potentially triggering topics related to trauma, mental health struggles, and other sensitive subjects. The content may be intense and could bring up difficult emotions or memories for some listeners. Please proceed with caution, prioritizing your own well-being, and feel free to skip this episode if needed.
So, hi, welcome to the Real Recovery Podcast. This is Julie, and I'm here with Peter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
And our guest today is Jonah, and I'm really excited. We're recording from Another Chance Treatment Center. Peter and I were lucky to come here last week to a meeting.
Yeah, that was awesome. What an experience. And you chaired. So
I chaired.
You were up front in front of the group and had a great group of people, and you were there, Jonah.
And I was scared, just so you know, because I had never chaired here. I was scared. And I asked Jonah to be on the podcast a while back, not just about this place, but the reason, like I told you, is I've seen Jonah do the work this year, seen him do the work. Portland had probably one of the worst storms it's ever had. And Jonah was the only one to show up to the meeting to open it so 56 other people could join via Zoom.
Wow.
I've
That's
seen
awesome.
him
That's
work
some
hard.
service.
That is some service. It says we go to any lengths to get recovery, and just like we went to any lengths to do drugs. So welcome, Jonah. And I'm really glad to have you here. Jonah's a little emotional about this.
I think I appreciate the appreciation. I have another meeting that I constantly am signing up for, the service rotation. I enjoy being a participant and keeping a meeting going and like just being in the middle of that. Because the meeting doesn't need me, I need the meeting. And so for people in these meetings to allow me to have that kind of like responsibility is a gift to me, and I get excited and I really love doing it. It's a treat to get up every Sunday morning. I have a service commitment at a meeting I do on Zoom, and it's a 12-week rotation because it's 12 steps and 12 traditions, and then you rotate through them all. I sign up every single rotation that I can. But anyway, like I don't know. I wasn't doing it because it was like I have to. I was doing it because that's what I wanted to do.
Amen.
I wanted to be there. I look forward to it, and it is a piece that has kept me going, having those commitments.
I was curious to hear your story because I don't know your full story. Like, where did it start for you?
My sober date is June 28th of 2023. On Sunday, I just celebrated 10 continuous months of sobriety, and
congratulations.
It's awesome. I never thought that would be possible. I heard recently from some people in the meeting when I was getting my 9 months, they're like, we didn't think you were going to make it. And I didn't think I was going to make it. Some people had hope and faith. And my original sober date was Father's Day of 2014, so June 16th, 2014. And in that time of sobriety, I used and then kept saying I was sober. And I never worked a program. I showed up to meetings. I had a quote unquote sponsor for the looks of it. I wasn't doing the work. I was treating the outside issues, right? Home, job, some form of stability, whatever it could be. It started for me prior to my first use. My first attempt at checking out was through food and television. I didn't do anything like outside of that. I was moving around a lot as a kid because it was chasing at churches all over the country to find a church Christian enough for my parents to go to.
Oh.
So I was a super lonely child, and my form of checking out, I was up all night watching TV. I was up eating food and watching TV. That's all I ever did. And I was playing make-believe as a senior in high school. And my vision of the world was, unfortunately, and this just happens to be the circumstances, isn't a judgment on this, my sneaking around getting to see anything in pop culture was different forms of pop culture where the nerdy person became popular because they went to the house party or they threw the house party,
right?
And they were getting drunk. And so like I would pretend that I was throwing one of those house parties and I was popular and I was liked and I was wanted. And people wanted to be around me. And just like my other siblings, we all escaped the house at 17 through the military, and I joined the Navy. And my brother, who's 5 years older, he dabbled apparently a little bit, but I didn't know this at the time. And this is why he gave me that advice. The advice that I'm about to share that he gave me was, Jonah, do not worry about making friends right now. Just get it was 2001, PlayStation or whatever was the popular gaming console then, and just hide in your barracks room and just do that, and then do your job. That's all you got to do. And of course, I did not heed to that advice. And obviously that was obviously it was important advice because it stuck with me because I didn't listen to it. And I got drunk on a Wednesday night in August of 2001. And two nights later, I was using and drinking in the military. And I tell everyone that I was getting kicked out because I was gay. And that was part of the reason, because they eventually did find out. But it was because somebody went down in flames and they brought everybody else down with them because there was a huge falling out at the linguistics school. Because I was in the military for linguistics that I was in, and I was part of that group of people that went down in flames, and I got thrown out. And I'm so ashamed of that I tell a lot of people, mostly just normies. I do come clean quite a bit in the rooms of recovery, but outside of that, I still tell people it's just because I was gay. And I play it off like that, but really it was because I used drugs in the military, and they frown upon that, obviously.
So there was a group of you in the military that got caught, basically?
Got caught, yeah.
Okay.
And quite a few of us, and we all were getting kicked out. Like, it was a major issue on the base. And the drug use started before 9/11, but then 9/11 happened, and then we were found out, and they're like, when we were being Article 15, Article 15, they're like, how could you do this to us in a time of war? Especially because I was an Arabic linguist, right? That was my job. I was going in to do that, and which was a high-level job, right? And I remember Chief Decker just throwing his glasses down on the desk and just crying. It was like, I was 17. I was just about to turn 18. And the chief was just like, you reminded me so much of my son. You had so much hope and potential. And you wanted this so bad.
Wow.
And now it's gone. And ever since then, it's been a shit. I don't even know. I can go into the details. It's in and out of institutions. It's job after job. It's the only reason why I've made it this far. And that is because of the good graces of one person in particular, but other people keeping me afloat because I was able to present myself well enough for people to want to help me, or organizations to want to help me. Because I guess that's how it was the good graces of others. If I was to rely on myself to have gotten this far in life, I would be dead. I could not have kept myself this far because all I knew how to do was get loaded. That was just my goal. Was the instant I got drunk or high, I became quote unquote popular, and I was liked, and my world of host of friends, as I thought they were, expanded. And there was a point in time where it was fun and people wanted me around, or just like I was always doing all these things, and it was like everything was drinking, or using, and it was just a whirlwind. And I don't think I ever really was at any point had any break, especially throughout my entire 20s. I didn't even start attempting sobriety until I was 30. But before that even happened, I was owning my addiction with pride. I would heckle the people going into the Aladdin Club because I was staying on someone's couch across the street from there. I was so proud of my addiction. I was like, you all are quitters. And I am on the verge of homelessness, on the good graces of yet another person keeping me on their couch. And the reason why I was there was because my lease was up in my apartment, and I had to move into somewhere else, and the place where I moved into, I wasn't going to be allowed to use there. So I wanted to leave. So I ended up on someone else's couch because I didn't feel comfortable in being able to use this random person's house that I was renting a room from. So then I ended up on the streets. I lose another job. And here I am heckling people going into the Aladdin Club because I'm proud of the fact that I'm an addict. And all I want to do with my life is seek out sordid place after sordid place, and keep fucking going until it kills me. I worshipped it. It was my higher power.
Wow.
I was so resistant to the God idea. And all along, I never was in control of my life. Getting loaded was my higher power. Like, it was what I lived and breathed. Like, it's the reason why I lived. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was wonderful and sexy, but in psychosis and all this other stuff that would keep happening, and sleeping behind a dumpster, and just stealing to eat, or just sleep, just one set, having absolutely brought down to complete squalor, wandering the streets completely alone, nothing to my name, or running around any city that I'm living in, running around in psychosis, trying to hide from the people that may or may not be chasing me, and just out of my mind.
Yeah.
In and out of psych wards, partly because, and this is really a shameful thing to say, is there was moments where the first time I did it, I was really wanting to kill myself because of something that was going on. But then I caught on to something that my employer was really behind me and supportive. So when I got too high to go to work, I would claim that I was suicidal and go to a psych ward.
Oh.
Like, just so that I wouldn't get fired. To the point where they eventually asked me to quit. And I've never just left a job on my own accord. It was either leave or we'll fire you. Or they just fired me. I could never keep a job. I could never keep a home. I barely have any, I have absolutely nothing right now in my life, materialistically. Granted, I'm so very blessed and I'm so very happy at this point. But I've been a mess. I've been chaos and a mess. I don't even know where to go with all of this.
It's okay.
All I know is that,
being honest, and that's all we care.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I can tell you, materialistic stuff doesn't mean shit. Money can buy them. Your being sober is everything. Think of how many people don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm focusing wrong. It doesn't matter. I share a bedroom with a grown adult. As a grown adult, I have curfew. I have all these limitations, but I've never had the peace and serenity and joy that I have today. Yeah. It doesn't matter that I don't have a car, or I can't go on trips, or I can't buy the newest pair of shoes and all my clothes are hand-me-downs. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not out there fucking dying and wishing. My only help. So the reason why I got sober was I didn't choose to get sober. I was seeking death or more of what I was going through. I was hoping that I would die, but I was miserable all the way to the end. And I ended up by not even the doors of the bus just happened. I was pulled the ringer because I was too afraid to be on the bus, but I was afraid to get off the bus, and I had to fight with him myself because I thought the whole city of Portland was after me to get me to kill myself. And I pulled that dinger, and it happened to open the doors in front of the emergency room, and something said, go in. And that was June 27th. And I went in, and I had no plans of getting sober. I begged them to let me go so I can go hide in the woods. I wanted more of what I had, and I was freaking out in fear and in psychosis, and I can't even explain the depths of that despair. Mm-hmm. Food, shelter, water, security, yes, water, and love and connection and stability, and all that didn't matter. All that mattered was more. I just needed more. I needed it to live.
That says it's addiction of more.
Yeah. And it's all I needed was that to live, right? That was why, like I said, that's why I was living. And it was just and I glorified it and I worshiped it and I loved it. And all I had was more misery and more misery. And then I would get more miserable and I would hate myself. And it was I'm just going to keep going until I die, until it kills me. But God hates me so much that I'm going to be stuck in this cycle for the rest of my life for another 40 years because God's not going to let me die because God hates me. And I'm not going to, I wanted to die. I was too afraid to do it. And I just figured I could use myself into death. And it wasn't happening. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
And I
want to know what happened when you got off the bus.
David had to fight with me. I was hiding around the Sunset Transit Center that morning. And there's some wooded area, bush. I don't know if you know where I'm talking about, but the Sunset Transit Center, just outside of the tunnel. And I had been there for hours and hours. And I traded my last bag of dope for some blues because I don't do opiates. And I was trying to find a place where I could hide my body and take these blues. And
I don't know what a blue is.
It's opiate. I don't even know. I just know that it's got fentanyl on it or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even really, because that's not my drug of choice, but I just know I have no tolerance for it and people die from it. So I was hopeful I could use it, but I wanted to hide myself so no one could find me because I wasn't even worth being found. And so I was hiding there, and then my psychosis kept me thinking that people were watching me. And that's what saved my life at the end of the day. And David was like, Jonah, I had prescriptions to go pick up at OHSU. And David was like, Jonah, just go there. And he fought with me for hours to go. So I got on the max finally, and then I got on the 8, and I was freaking out. I just remember I can't even explain it. So frightened. I thought the bus driver was calling the police on me. I thought there was some story about me on social media, and like everybody in the city of Portland was like talking about me, and I was being watched by everybody, and everybody knew all of everything, and they were trying to get me to kill myself.
So the paranoia was
Powerful.
pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Paranoia was pretty bad, and I was supposed to get off by the physician's pavilion, and the stop above that one was when I finally was like, I wanted to get off the bus sooner, but I was afraid to get off the bus because I didn't know where I would be, but I was afraid to stay on the bus. I was just in this battle, and I finally pulled it, and it happened to be right in front of the emergency room, not the stop that I wanted. And I fought with myself for a moment, and I was like, I just got to go in. I don't know. I can't even, just went in. And I remember telling them that, honestly, I was so fucking gone. I don't remember. I just remember going in, being freaked out, and having them beg me to let me go. And the only person I felt safe with was like, either it was a security guard or a cop. I was so fucking gone. I don't even know what it was, what the role of that person was. I was like, please come in here. I feel safe with you. And I wanted to go to prison so I could be free of my addiction. And they were like wanting to medicate me to calm me down, because I was in total panic, hysteria. It was hysteria. And I was refusing, and they were like, I was like, I need to go, you need to let me go. And they're like, no, they got permission from this authority figure to keep me, because I wasn't a danger, really. I wasn't threatening them. And they got permission to keep me.
But if you're threatening yourself, yeah.
Mm.
And so they were like, we're going to give you these medications to calm you down if you like it or not. And so I was like, I finally, after a long period of time, I don't know how long, of fighting them, like I thought they were in on it. They were in my phone. They were trying to get me, and it was total fear. And it's a life not worth living, I'll tell you that. But I just remember them giving me medications, and then they had to medicate me again to knock me out. And then I ended up the next day, it's June 28th, and David came to the hospital, and he just held me the whole day.
Wow. Gonna make me cry.
He held me the whole day, and and that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
Because I was a monster, and he just loved me.
I don't know that you are a monster, that you are sick, but it just shows.
He just loved on me. And then we went to a friend's house, and then I had been a client for 2 days at the Another Chance on the west side. And so on June 29th, I went back into Another Chance. And I remember walking into Meredith's office and saying, I just need a higher level of care. I need help. I found out about this treatment center, and that they had a crisis center. And I knew I was going to be alone I was like, I cannot be alone for the weekend. So the person that started the meeting that I'm going to after this, it was her and a couple other people. The person you thought was Bingo, and somebody else, and David, and I, and they stayed there with me all weekend, because I just needed help. I said, I can't do this. I was afraid of myself. And then I called the crisis center, because I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it to the bed date sober. I don't think I can do it. And they're like, and I was out at the Fred Meyer in Hawthorne with David, and we were just like hanging out, because Another Chance put me in a sober living temporarily until I got into a treatment. And so I put the little bit of belongings that I had, and that was in a bag, they were there, and some clothes that they had. And I called to the crisis center, and they're like, you need to come right now. I was like, but I have to go get my things and all we only allow 3 people in every day, and you would be the 3rd person. You need to come now. We'll send an Uber for you. And David rode with me all the way there, because it was in Vancouver. And I just said yes. And
Jonah, do you mind if I clarify something for our listeners?
Yeah.
Colette is on our board of directors for the Real Recovery podcast, and she was our first story after me and Peter. So when you're talking about the other person that's going to run the meeting, you're talking about part of our foundation. And I just want our listeners to know.
She helped save my life.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until this moment. And I just really want our listeners to know because they have grown to love Colette, and asking her to be on our board was an easy decision for me and Peter, believe it or not, for someone who's just starting out on a foundation of something.
Yeah.
Like, it was an easy choice for us. Peter and I agreed instantly, which, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And knowing this is a God shot, and just knowing that this person is on our board that, like, you say help save your life is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm in tears. So you got to Vancouver. Don't stop now, because we do have a meeting. Go ahead. Please don't stop. And here's a tissue from both of us.
So, yeah, and I don't know. I got to Vancouver. David had to go back to my place with another friend, and they brought me what little bit was mine. And I just, silliest things. I was like, I'm going to leave if I can't have a cigarette. So you better medicate me to pass out so I can not leave over a cigarette. And so they did that. And then I quit smoking because of that. But
Congratulations.
when I was in treatment, I didn't change. And my counselor didn't feel that it was ethical if she were to graduate me. In fact, she said, I'd rather you just stay another month. Nothing was changing. And I was still acting out. I was still obviously needed a lot of help. And I said yes again, because the choice was mine. And then when I was in treatment, I found out someone I knew. And it wasn't like we were super close, but he was just yet another friend that died from their active addiction. And for some reason, that really struck a chord with me. And I remember just walking into my room. I got on my knees and I said, I'm done fighting. I'm done fighting. I'm tired of being a tornado.
Yeah, that's...
And that was it. I just couldn't do it anymore. I can't do that anymore for myself. I've been through so much. I can't do it anymore. And I wish I could say I've been doing it like 100% all the time. And this star child, like I keep secrets from my sponsor. I still have thoughts of using and drinking. And even today, when I went to fellowship, I saw the list of margaritas. I was like, oh, that looks pretty. Yeah. I still have thoughts. I don't have the obsession, but I have thoughts. My sponsor really pointed out thoughts, desire, and obsessions and cravings are 4 complete different things. Cravings are when it's in your body. Obsession is different than a desire, and desires are different from a thought.
I can tell you, you're doing better than I did in the beginning. I could not get my blood taken without wanting to vomit because it was like somebody sticking a bottle of alcohol to their mouth and not getting drunk while getting a needle in my hand and not getting high was like a mind fuck for me. And I told you last week, 4 years, 3 months, and 22 days of meetings in a row. And somewhere, I don't know where, okay, somewhere around the 3rd year, I get over it. The needle thing for me is still prevalent. I only get blood taken out of my hand. I don't get it taken out of my arms. I don't want the bruises. I'm ashamed. And I had to go to prison for a timeout. Okay, so you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like, amazing. It's not perfection, because I would have been kicked out a long time ago. Progress. And I'm sober a long time, but I suffer from the crazy sometimes too. Peter and I had a discussion today. I think addictive thinking comes with addiction, just like the TV and the food and everything. I'm addicted to more. You know what I mean? It could be more things that feel good. It could be sometimes it's service. I throw myself in it because it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
But I'm addicted to more. And I've never done heroin ever. I know I'm addicted. Right. Luckily, I'm scared to do fentanyl. No, I'm addicted. Never done it, but I know. Yeah. I can get addicted to tennis shoes, bro. Literally.
I
You want another one?
All I've been wanting is just to be okay. And
Tell our listeners, though, how you feel today, because you said to me earlier, I want people to know the service work you do. I want them to know, we know when it changed for you after your friend passed, you like really surrendered, right?
so
Then what did you start doing?
I guess I called my sponsor back up after I had a huge falling out, and he doesn't even really remember all the things I said, but he goes, those things you were saying anyways was just another person that was hurting. I called him up, not knowing that's how he felt, but thinking that he was going to be angry at me. And I said, will you still sponsor me? He goes, I will never not work with somebody that's willing to do the work. But if you want what I have, you got to do what I do, and you got to get on your knees and pray. And the next morning I fought with myself. Do I pray or do I not pray? And I knew that if I did not get on my knees and pray that night, that I wasn't done. And I got on my knees, hiding and being secretive, because I was obviously sharing a room in a treatment center, trying to be secretive so this person wouldn't know that I was being awkward and getting on my knees and praying. I said this serenity prayer, and I've been doing it ever since. And the way I'm looking at life now is I'm choosing joy. My desperation has turned into inspiration. I wake up every morning and I get to make a fucking bed because I slept in a fucking bed.
Yeah.
You know, I get to do laundry because I have more than one set of clothes, and I have safety and stability in a safe place to actually do laundry.
I love that.
And I just got done preparing a meal for my meal prepping, but I had to clean the dishes because I had dishes and
This
a
is
place to
shit
put.
people take for granted.
Yeah.
But that's the way
Literally.
I'm looking at life, right? And then I wish I was always in this gratitude, and there's plenty of self-pity, and there's plenty of selfishness, there's plenty of self-centeredness. But you know what? I'm getting a new experience in life, and it's what stuff I'm working on, because that's all I'm seeking. I'm not, they say don't quit before the miracle happens.
Don't stop. Like, you'll break my heart. You will break
I'm not
Julie's heart.
waiting for the miracle to happen. The fucking
You
miracle.
are the miracle.
The miracle is fucking happening, and
Yes.
I love my sobriety. I'm grateful for it, and I've been doing everything my sponsor has been. Not everything. Let's get real. I've been a carbon copy of my sponsor, and it's working. I used to say "fuck you" in my head when he told me to do a prayer journal, and I've been doing a prayer journal every day. I do the same fucking thing every morning, and I do the same thing every night. I do the nightly inventory. Who am I to say this shit doesn't work for me? Or who am I to say that this shit's not like for me or all this shit when I'm the one that's on the street suffering, going through hell, causing havoc, making people worry, all this shit, misery, unnecessary suffering, but I'm willing to hide in a bush that's knee high, talking to myself, trying to hide from the world, but I'm not willing to get on my knees and pray to something I don't know, just because that is what's helping somebody else stay sober. I don't want to do what you're doing, and I keep getting what I got, and I'm tired of getting what I got.
Which is insanity. Doing the same shit, coming up with the same answer is insanity.
Yeah, so my sponsor said, don't take a trip anymore. Don't take any more trips right now, just stay put. And we had tickets to go visit my parents. And we decided not to go because my sponsor said, don't go. I wish I listened to him every single time, but I'm doing my best to listen to him because he's not trying to get me to kill myself. He's not trying to get me loaded. He's not trying to make me suffer. He's trying to get me to live and have a successful life.
Yeah.
So is everybody else in the rooms. And what I'm seeing is someone that just celebrated 43 years who I look up to a lot. And when she sends me messages of, I'm really happy that you're a part of my recovery.
Her name is, she chaired our meeting.
Yeah, she chaired our meeting. And a lot of the people I picked, I look up to. I
understand why.
I want their recovery. And they showed me nothing but love every single time I came back. And I see her doing exactly what I'm doing. Going to meetings, working with the sponsor, being of service, doing the 12 steps.
I have a question
And it
for
worked for her for 43 years so far.
And just for our listeners, for me, it's everything, okay? I always say this, that if a private investigator followed me he would be bored as fuck after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How important is a routine to you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I look forward to, I get up every day between 6 and 6:15, 7 days a week. I get on my knees and I pray. And then I make my coffee and I read the literature. I write out my prayer journal. I join my Zoom meeting that I hope can get you to chair someday, or David can get you to chair, 7 a.m. every single day. And I do my gratitude every single day. And then I either get myself ready for work or I do whatever I need to for the day. And then every single night, I do the nightly routine. I'm in bed by 10:30.
So ask me what my routine is.
What's your routine?
I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I take a shower and I go get coffee. I come back, sit on the couch and read the daily reflections. Okay? And I thank God for the day before. Okay? And if you're struggling with the God, it's just a higher power. I struggled too the first 10 years. It's a group of drunks, good orderly direction, what we're talking about. Yeah. Then I go to work. I go to the evening meeting 5 out of 7 nights. It calms my brain down because I'm struggling right now with some different things I told you last week. And then in between here, I walk my dog. Okay, I pray on a bench every day almost that it's not completely jacked up weather with my dog to this tree. And I keep the same routine almost every day.
You know what matters to me about my routine is I read On Awakening every morning.
Page 86
through 88.
I love you.
And I go from On Awakening all the way to It Works, It Really Does.
It does.
It does. And then I flip to the front of my book where my sober date is written, and I do a little tally for the day that I completed before. And that's one of the piece of the inspiration that I am watching those tallies add up to get me sober. So I don't have a smartphone because I gave up my smartphone because apps for hooking up are part of the reason why I go back out. So I gave that all up.
No, I've never been on an app. We were on a meeting last night and somebody was talking about an app, right?
Yeah.
But here you are with 10 months sober, right?
Yeah.
We're almost to May and I'll have 27. And I've been sober for 9,846 days. And it doesn't matter. All we have
is today.
Today.
And the one thing I like, there's so many epiphanies that I'm having, right? So
you're killing me right now.
So I love that part of that routine thing is I love, like, when I'm done reading On Awakening, I do a tally. And the tally is for the day that I completed before. And I have 307 tallies in my book right now. And when I complete today, tomorrow will be the 308th tally. And it's those little things I look forward to. And those epiphanies that I have. Like, I used to be like, every time I got sober, like, this is the time, this is the time. And I heard somebody else say that they would say that all to themselves. And they got sober in the 80s and they've been sober ever since, but they used to be in and out all the time. And when that person was sharing that, I realized I don't have to worry about this being the time. I just have to worry about this being the day.
Exactly.
This being the day. And if I keep doing what I'm doing, I will get a new experience. And I'm already getting that new experience.
I believe that not only are you sober, you're in recovery. There's some people that get sobriety, and I'm going to tell you, during my time, I've had years where I've just been sober, okay? When I went to IOP at 25 years, I think that I've had the best recovery since then. It doesn't mean that everything's perfect, because it's not.
No.
It just means that I know that my sobriety is the most important thing. And there's times in my life where I put my child first, and I'm not sad about any of the time I invested in her, but the time I invest in this program, we reap the rewards, like sitting here right now with you.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest rewards I've gotten. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
I'm glad God gave you another chance. And that sounds so corny because of the place.
Yeah, I know, right?
I feel like a fucking commercial. Okay, and we're sitting in another chance right now. So
that's what it is. I don't know why some people survive and some don't. I don't know why I survived, but I want.
I don't know why some people stay and some people go. I don't understand, and I also don't understand why I've been so lucky to stay. I don't understand it. I don't know that I ever will, because I wish everybody that came in would fucking stay, right? But I don't understand that.
It took 22 years. If I really got into the war stories, holy shit, I've survived a lot.
Me too.
That doesn't make me any worse. I'm not trying to. I have my own journey and my own pain, and the beauty about my journey and my pain is that it's making me who I'm becoming, and it's not worth regretting. Everything I have today, and I'm not talking materialistically, I'm talking about a partner that I'm in love with. I'm talking about the safety and stability. I'm talking about a connection with with a sponsor and with a community, and with an enriching and fulfilling life would not have been possible without everything I've been through.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the saying that I hold dear to me is there's a reason for everything and everything has a reason. And it may not be known right then and there, but it will be revealed. Yeah. And maybe the reason that Julie's here and I'm here and we're doing this podcast, maybe that's the reason. Maybe this will touch someone out there and help them.
I promise you it will.
There's someday I want my story to be someone else's survival guide. Well, now it's my survival guide. It's teaching me.
I'm going to tell you, your story right now is going to be, I have people every week. One guy that probably has 11 days right now, and I've known him for a few years, okay? He texts me every week when the podcast comes out and says, I can't tell you, I'm waiting for the next one. This really helped me while I was working out. I want you to know I've had people tell me that Colette's story has changed their life. Okay. And it doesn't matter if your bottom is the worst. And out of all the people we've interviewed, losing my freedom is right up there. You know what I'm saying? You were like, holy shit, last week, you never knew. And last week who we interviewed doesn't have a bad bottom at all. Okay.
Sure, for me, I personally don't like that high bottom, low bottom. The pain is all the same.
It is.
Internally.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
The materialistic bottom doesn't matter. The suffering is still the same. It doesn't matter if you have 2 cars in the garage or you have nothing.
I could
right?
care
If you're
less
dying on
about
the
all
inside,
that.
you're dying on the inside. And to me, that part doesn't matter to me. What matters is that you're not dying today. I'm not dying today. We're not suffering today. We're a little less miserable today than we were when we were out there. Just because people, I know
Amen.
People have and still are suffering because there's something missing. It doesn't mean that you have to go through what I've been through. And for me, my guidepost of where I don't want to go, where I'm choosing not to have any my history is my guidepost of what not to do. And I'm going to say this, if I had to go through to get David in my life, if that meant to get David in my life, I would go through it all again.
Wow.
That's intense.
That is.
My husband, we've been together 24 years, and he was a David.
He is a David.
Yeah. David is a beautiful.
No, so's his husband. His husband's like
but-
David. He speaks softly and kindly.
Yeah.
The fact that he was there with me through all that we've been through, and it was him. For me, it was amongst other things, but him saying, I can't be with you anymore. After all that time, I'd pushed and pushed, like you were saying, we push and push. I want to die. I don't want to be here, whatever the reasons, and get to that point. And he was like, my bags are packed. And when he packed my bags, he said it was like packing somebody's clothes who had died. That's how it felt to him. And he was like, we're done.
Can I get a Justin?
So I created fake those text now phone numbers. And I have this knack of writing novels of hatred, but apparently I can write even though I'm all fucked up. And David was like, you went for everything I am self-conscious about. And you attacked it. And he would, because he had blocked me because I kept going at him. And he wasn't, my sponsor was the same thing. My parents were the same thing. My friends were, I kept blaming everybody, kept attacking everybody. I was verbally abusive and people would have to protect themselves from me.
I would have kicked your ass.
Yeah. And he still showed up to the hospital and held me because people that I know that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all he wanted me was to be okay.
Who we are using and who we are now, working for the escort service high, I am not promiscuous in my personal life, sober. I have to like you a whole bunch. I'm thinking as fuck. Okay. And so I get it. And I have to tell you, materialistic things were important to me at one time. I'm not being dishonest. I always tell Peter this, we have enough. If I have a place that's okay, and that's what I have, a place that's okay.
I get to love my little life today.
Exactly.
I get to love my little life, and my life is worth living. And that desperation has definitely turned into inspiration. I will keep getting on my knees and fucking praying every morning if the payout is having a little bit of joy and a little bit of happiness and laughter and goofiness and a little bit of contentment and being able to walk slowly and take in the beauty of the world around me and appreciate every fucking flower, every fucking moment. And then even when it's miserable and I hate myself, or when I think about using, or life sucks, I'm not out there. I would have killed to have the problems I have today.
Exactly.
Just to be a little bit less miserable. And you know what? It's not perfect. It's not 100%. My partner and I fought on our anniversary, quite multiple times. And then we did the nightly inventory and worked out through it. And we owned our shit.
Awesome.
And I get to still be in love, and I still get to show up for my family. I get to have a healing relationship with my brother. My friends aren't worried about me. My mom said to me, she was weeping. She's like, Jonah, I couldn't sit down and eat a meal because I knew you weren't out there eating a meal. And I couldn't sleep in my bed because I knew that you weren't having a bed to sleep in.
I understand.
People are a little bit less worried about me. And I get to show up for my friends today when life isn't showing up for them.
Yeah.
And I love my life.
Yeah.
And today, no matter what, I will not trade it in. I am not going to give up everything to get loaded for that one thing, for that brief lie that is good, and it's going to be miserable. I'm going to end up in psychosis, and I'm not going to stop until I hit a wall or I die.
And I'm not going to break Julie's heart.
And I'm just not going to break my own heart.
Amen.
Right. Yeah.
Amen.
I'm done. I cannot get myself to do it. And those things of if someone dies, if this happens, I talked about this today. I tell myself, if Dave and I break up, where's the first meeting I'm going to go? Who am I going to call? If my parents die, who am I going to call? Where's the first meeting? That's what runs through my head today. What am I going to do to protect my recovery?
All those things have happened to me. And you know what I did?
You went out for help.
I doubled up on meetings, and I called my sponsor. And at 25 years sober, which was probably the most difficult time, I thought it was prison. It wasn't, because I was healthy then. I just doubled up on meetings, went to IOP, whatever it took.
To get through.
Yeah, and not using, not an option.
My sponsor is going through a big upheaval and change in his life. And I told him today, I was like, I don't put him on a pedestal. I put what he's doing on a pedestal, and that seeing it work for him. I was like, you could just say, fuck it right now. Everything's falling apart for you. And I'm witnessing you stay sober no matter what. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I do. My sponsor has 45 years sober. And let me tell you, he didn't have it easy in the last couple of years either.
I'd rather recognize that my pride and I'm being selfish, and I'm being demanding, and I'm being codependent, and I'm being an asshole, and I gotta step on toes to realize that I was an asshole to Colette. I tried to cut her out, and I was an asshole to her, and I had to own my shit. But at least I get to own it. I get to complete a feeling today. I get to own my shit. I get to move past it, and I get to move forward, and I get to have a fucking life that I absolutely love. I love that I get to cook every week.
Amen.
I get to have a little life. I get to have a little bed to sleep in. I love my little bed. I'm like, oh my God, I get so excited.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hey,
Well,
we're going to wrap this up, but I want to tell you how grateful I am because of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're my gratitude for today. I promise you it wasn't working. Promise you. And Peter, thank you. Thanks for Peter's the technical guru that sets this all up for us. Thanks for even be willing.
Thanks to Another Chance for letting us use this room.
Yeah, let's do our commercial. No, just kidding.
No, I'm going to be really brief. I got to tell this story. So I met somebody, I'm not going to talk about how I met them, and they happened to be a sober person, and I met them in a sorted place, and they happened to be a sober person. They connect me to the outreach person here, and I had been stuck at Rooster Rock, spun out of my mind. And I had planned a phone call with this person, with the outreach person here. And she was sitting by a pool or a lake or whatever, chilling. And I called her up and I spent about an hour just yelling and screaming about, complaining about my life. And she just listened and said, you got to be the one to hang up. I won't shut up. I can't stop talking. I kept saying that over. She was, yeah. And she was like, we're going to be there for you. She was there. And I get to send her
another chance.
She gave me another chance. And then I walked away, used, came back. And they are a huge role in helping me stay sober.
They're a huge role in a few people I know, which I'm grateful
and
for.
They found me a place to live. They helped me keep a structure. They helped me keep a routine. They helped me learn. They taught me a lot. And this counselor here that I worked with has touched my heart and is able to get through to me and has gotten me, this place has been paramount in my recovery. And to be able to send a gratitude every day for my sobriety, because she's the only person from this place that's ever seen me loaded, freaking out like I was. And I get to share my recovery with her because she allowed me to share my pain with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you shared your recovery with us.
So anyway,
let's go.
Let's go to the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Peter,
everybody.
Julie, Real Recovery Podcast. Thanks. And we'll be back, listeners, with another episode.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks to each and every one of you for lending us your ears and hearts. Your engagement is what fuels our passion and keeps this podcast thriving.
We cherish the moments we share here and hope they resonate with you, whether you're on a daily commute, at the gym, or just taking a moment for yourself.
Make sure to head over to our website at realrecoverypodcast.com. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter for the latest insights and uplifting stories from our community delivered straight to your inbox.
Click that subscribe button on your favorite podcast player too, so you can keep up with every new episode. It's your support that keeps our conversation alive and meaningful.
And if our stories have touched you, consider using the donate button on our site. Your contributions, no matter the size, are deeply appreciated. They help us continue our mission of sharing hope and healing.
Join us beyond the podcast and follow our journey on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, formerly known as Twitter. All the links are on our site, so you can stay connected and be a part of the Real Recovery community every day.
Your likes, shares, and comments not only spread the message of recovery, but also remind us that we're all in this together.
So, until we meet again, remember that recovery is a journey, not a destination, and we'll be here to accompany you every step of the way to recovery, real recovery.
Thanks for listening.